Welcome everybody back with the video. Today we're going to talk about how much bookmarks and mystics can you get in a single month. Well, now we are using on average data. Obviously you could get a lot more. Obviously when it comes to sky stones, right? In terms of refreshing the shop. So let's get right into it. Now, starting off right off the bat, the main source of income when it comes to just getting these sky stones you need to refresh said shop, to get bookmarks and mystics. So let's go over to Arena. Arena is going to be our main source of income when it comes to sky stones, because obviously sky stones are needed to refresh the shop to get mystics and bookmarks. So over here we do get about, I'm taking the average data on just most people being in champion V. So you get 800 sky stones a week. 800 sky stones will give you about 3,200 a month. Obviously just judging that just 4 weeks in a month, of course, right? So you get about 3,200 sky stones a month, which means you are able to get 600 mystics. Yes, 600 mystics. Again, this is on average. I'll probably put the data up on the screen. Per 270 sky stones equals about 1 mystic summon, and 70 sky stones equals about 5 bookmarks, pretty much, right? So keep that in mind. So again, with the monthly sky stones, 3,200, you get a month, right? You are averaging about 600 monthly mystics just from Arena alone. Now, in terms of bookmarks, you are going to be getting you're going to get 225 bookmarks just from those sky stones alone. So you are getting 225 bookmarks and you are getting 600 mystics from just the 3,200 sky stones alone from Arena. That is literally insane. That's actually quite insane when you actually sit there and think about it, right? It's really good value. That's why everyone does say, really recommend you to really pick sky stones. You never really pick mystics at all. So now let's jump into Guild War. Guild War is going to be the main source of mystics for any player that's not new at this point, right? Because that means you really completed Abyss and your side story, Moonlight Theater, right? So let's go look at Guild War. So again, I am taking the data of being a ×5. Averaging, if you are ×5, you are getting about 996 mystics every single month. That is really, really good. That's assuming you win every single hit. Again, as long as you are in ×5, you will get 996 mystics a month. Now, that's not including the shop. So if you go over here to the Guild War shop, you are able to buy 50 mystics every single week, which means you are getting 200 mystics from Guild War and from the Guild War shop plus the 996, which means you're getting about 1,100, almost 1,200 sky stones. That's quite insane. That's really good. That's actually quite insane from that, right? So if you do 996 plus 200, right? Plus 200, you are getting about 1,196 mystics from Guild War alone per month. Very, very good. Now, obviously when it comes to Guild War, you don't get no bookmarks from that. But now let's talk about the daily login. Daily login is very, very good. Over here, check and reward. We do get 10 bookmarks on the 4th and the 18th. Right? And also we do get mystics on the 11th and the 25th. And then you do see we do get sky stones on 6, 13, 20, and 27, right? So with the daily logins for mystics specifically, we are still talking about mystics, for logging in every single day, right? Every single day, and you do your dailies, you are going to be completing this dailies. You get 65 sky stones per day. There's 30 days in a month, so you get about 1,950 sky stones from doing your dailies. But again, you have to log in every day, of course. Which with that 1,950 sky stones, you are going to get about 250 mystics. Again, you could get a lot more than that. We are just using the base average, which was 270 sky stones per 1 mystics, right? So if you go over here, even go to a calculator, right? You probably won't, you don't see it, but I will. 1950 divided by 270 will give you about 7. And then you do 7 times 50, you get about 350, right? So from playing the game every day, doing your dailies, from the free sky stones you get from every single day, adding up at the end of the month, you get 1,950 sky stones, and from that you get 250 mystics. Again, you could get more from that, but not only on that, from logging in, you get another 100 mystics from just logging in every single day, of course, right? The check-in reward on day number 11 and day number 25, of course. Very, very good. Really, really good, right? And then obviously from the 400 sky stones, you can get about 2 mystic summons from that. So it's going to be another 100 mystics, which means therefore totally in the mystic count for a month at 2,296 mystics if everything goes well in terms of your guild war and all that, right? If you play every day, do your dailies, that's how much mystics you can get every single month. Now of course you could get a lot more than that if you are extremely lucky, right? So keep that in mind, or if you buy any sky stone packs and all that. Now back to the bookmarks for daily. So with the 1,950 sky stones we do get, you know, per month from dailies alone, you can acquire 135 mystics per month. Now that is now including the one bookmark you did get every single day from, is it this one? Yeah, wait, no it's not. This one. Whichever one has one bookmark. No. One of these, oh, that's weekly, my bad. I was like, wait a minute, I was doing the wrong one. Where you at? 20 sky stones, yada, yada, yada. There it is. So, here you go. Just one bookmark, so which means 30 days, you get 30 bookmarks for free. On top of the 135 from the 1,950 sky stones you get per month. Not only on top of that, also the login reward will give you another 20 free bookmarks. Of course, you have to log in every day. So that's another 20 bookmarks. Now on top of that, the 400 sky stones you do get from logging in as well will net you about 25 bookmarks. Again, if you're extremely lucky, you can get a lot more than 25 bookmarks. So on top of that, you will be looking at about 400, that right there is about almost 200 bookmarks. Not only on top of that, you can go over here to Automaton Tower, which also gives you monthly sky stones and bookmarks on top of that. So looking at the amount of sky stones we do get, but before that, Automaton does reset every 14 days. 4 to 15 days, it resets. So you are able to do this twice a month. So you get about 600 sky stones, which 600 sky stones, putting that into the secret shop, will give you about 150 mystics to add to our total as well. Now in terms of bookmarks, the amount of bookmarks you do get, 4 to 600 sky stones will be 40 bookmarks. You also do get 10 bookmarks per 10 days just from the reward, so therefore you are getting 20 bookmarks on top of the 40, so you are getting about 60 bookmarks from Automaton Tower per month. So it does reset twice a month, so therefore 600 sky stones, putting that into secret shop gives you 40 bookmarks and an additional 20 just from the actual rewards. So 60 bookmarks right here. Again, very, very nice. Again, play the game every day, you do get a nice amount. And then lastly, it is going to be side story. Side story, you are able to open a brand new side story every 14 days. So just like Automaton Tower, every 2 weeks. So therefore, you are able to get 10. Not 10. You are able to get 2 a month, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice. So for sky stones, if you come over here, in terms of the missions in here, you should be getting about 350 sky stones just from doing these missions alone, right? And plus the 30 sky stones you do get here, and obviously the 50 sky stones you do get over here. And then on top of that, the reputation sky stones, you should be looking at about 350 sky stones per month from side stories alone, which would net you about 25 bookmarks. Plus, you will be able to obviously get 60 bookmarks from the exchange shop. So per sub-story, you do get 15 from right here, the exchange shop, and you do get a 15 from over here in just the quest. So therefore, that is going to net you about 60 per month just from the shop and the quest. And then obviously, you get about 350 sky stones, which will net you about an additional 25 bookmarks. So again, side story is very, very nice as well. In terms of mystics, now, of course, in side story, you want to get 350 sky stones, which means you're more than likely going to be getting about 50 mystics, which is just one, right? But overall, that's pretty much all the ways to get mystics and bookmarks. Now, you are very curious about the total. So in total, you are able to get 580 bookmarks and 2,446 mystics per month inside Epic 7. Now again, you could get way more than that if you are lucky, of course, right? Again, this is just on average data. Of course, you could get way more. There's a potential you get a little bit less, but you're more than likely going to be around this ballpark, if not more, maybe a little less, right? But other than that, though, of course, it does depend where you end up in arena. If you are obviously ending up higher, or therefore that means you are getting much more mystics and more bookmarks per month, of course. But other than that, though, if you have any other questions, let me know down below. It was very, very fun looking at this data. It's very nice to see that we actually do get quite a hefty amount of mystics per month. So in about, what, 4 months, 4 to 5 months, you are able to pity an Ammo 5 character. That isn't too bad at all. And you are basically getting a guaranteed pity from just a monthly bookmark. It's not too shabby either. Again, most people should be saving their bookmarks and mystics already because of what's to come in the near future. But other than that, though, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys later on. Peace out.